It's your boy Coach Defense here. Thanking you for supporting the channel. Become a Lockdown Defender by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're enjoying your time, hit that like button. Help us grow in the community. Now check out our latest video. Leave a comment. And as always, you got to step up to lock it down. We'll take a ride back up to Pennsylvania. Let's go on out to Pittsburgh. Let's take a ride out to Pittsburgh. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Russell's down and Justin's up. So if Russell Wilson, unfortunately, I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I'm a Russell supporter. He's been hampered with a calf injury that sidelined him, for a few days in camp. That has opened the door for Justin Fields to get all the first team reps. So as we get close to the teams participating in their preseason game, this weekend, everybody's going to play this weekend. Hall of Fame game was last week, but everybody's on the docket for this week to play a preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
So people are wondering, does this give Justin the edge in the quarterback battle? Now you and I have covered this. We covered it amongst ourselves. We had Lauren on. We talked about it with her, and we can come into consensus of what the end of the tunnel was. So with this new development, does this provide any clarity for you of who QB1 is going to be in your eyes?
It doesn't provide any clarity, but I would tell you it should make Russell slightly nervous.
Yeah.
It should make Russell slightly nervous, but it doesn't provide any clarity because, again, depending on the length, did they have a time frame of what they're looking?
They don't.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah. So if you're going to get hurt, this is the time to get hurt, right?
Well, is it when you're in a battle?
But it's preseason. How much was Russell really going to play preseason anyway?
Well, I'll give my take on it because I thought he was going to play a lot because I think they really weren't going to put them both out there with different personnel. Both had playing a little bit with the ones to see who's going to be the all-time favorite. But please continue with your take. But I'm curious.
Right. But here's what's dangerous. If Justin he's getting first team reps. If he gets in preseason and plays heavy and rolls that momentum into regular season, let's say Russell's 4 games into the regular season, then he's healthy. If you're 3-1, do you make a switch?
I'm saying.
If you're 4-0,
that's a good question.
Do you make a switch?
Yeah.
If the offense is rocking and rolling and George Pickens is happy and Jaylen Warren is running and Najee Harris is running, and Freiermuth is catching, do you make a switch? Or do you just ride, So
I don't, but that's the question. I don't, but go ahead though.
But that's why I say for Russell, it's concerning because what you have to be careful of is Justin building momentum. And then all of a sudden the team is rocking and rolling. And now you got to look at the players when they're looking at you like, no, don't make a switch. We found our rhythm right now in this situation.
Yep.
And so if that's the case, like you said, you can't make that switch. So hopefully speedy recovery. But I think if he's recovered, I think Mike Tomlin is true. Coach Tomlin is true to his word, even though he tried to walk it back some. I think Russell is slated right now to at least be the starter for the first couple of games, barring injury.
Okay. Well, that is the question because I'm whether or not he's healthy. But for me, when this injury happened, it was pseudo for me. It gave me clarity in a slight regard. It gave me pseudo clarity.
Okay.
And I'm not giving up, and I have not, and I'm gonna say this very quickly. I have not given up hope on Justin Fields. I have not.
I haven't either.
I've been on the side of the holding the Bears accountable for mishandling him in his first 3 seasons.
Right.
Which gave me anxiety or gives me anxiety about how they're going to handle Caleb. But that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
They got different pieces over there now, different personnel, different GM, so that could go differently. I still don't like the coach, but I'm not going to go on a tangent on Eberflus right now. But I think Justin has all the tools to be an NFL quarterback. He is far less limited skill wise than some of the quarterbacks that are getting paid currently. I'm just saying. Okay. I think he's highly intelligent and loves the game. One thing that people are highlighting or not highlighting enough is that teammates love Justin. You know, they spoke glowingly about him in Chicago, wanted him to stay. And I'm hearing rumors and rumblings that's swirling around that the people in the locker room in Pittsburgh love him. You know, so if you don't understand, you know, from a football perspective that, you know, him pulling people in and he's people are gravitating toward him, that's a skill. That's a skill for franchise quarterbacks. To be able to just to have the room gravitate towards you and kind of rally around you. That's a skill.
Right.
People want to play harder for you when they like you. You know, and if Justin is if he's winning over the locker room, you know, it's going to put Mike Tomlin in a tough spot. It really is for me. Because that tells me, you know, it really is really going to be telling over the weekend when they play this preseason game. Because unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that Justin was slated to play before this injury with Russell. And I'm assuming Russell's not going to play because he still ain't practicing. So I'm assuming at this point, we're almost in the midweek. Likely, if he's not practicing, he's not going to play the first preseason game. So unless he, you know, kind of quote unquote, kind of scales the idea back that he wants to play Justin because he's the quote unquote starter at this moment. You know, again, I wouldn't shy away from that because I think to my point earlier that I think that he was going to play Russell and Justin just to have a clear cut understanding with live bullets how those guys were going to play within this offense off the Smith calling plays. So for my money, Justin's going to play a lot in this particular preseason. Period. You know, and however long Russell takes to get back and work himself back is going to be it. But again, if you don't play him a lot, then I got problems with Mike Tomlin. I would have to hold him accountable and say that you're not giving this kid a chance if you're going to hold him out of playing and Russell's not playing either. So you don't get it. You're not getting any clarity at all with live ammunition. You know, so I'm thinking he's going to play, and we're really going to see that how he fits in with this Arthur Smith offense, and whether or not he is going to be, you know, the people that people are saying that he should be, you know, the guy, you know, quote unquote. He has all the tools, lively arm, you know, super highly athletic, highly intelligent, you know, picks up offense like it's nothing. The kid got everything lined up for him. You just got to get him in the right situation. So, but on the flip side, now when it comes down to Russell, you know, I would say that it's, you know, deeply unfortunate that he's going through this.
Yes.
So the last thing you want as a player is when you're in a new place, you're trying to carve out a place on that team is to be injured. That goes for anybody.
Yeah,
I feel like, you know, what Coach T is, you know, is downplaying it, but I think this injury, you know, is more questionable than he's alluding to. You know, I believe this injury is significant if he's holding him out this long. It's been over a week. So if Russell doesn't heal up properly, you know, I think it could lead to more problems. You know, like can we, you know, harken back to the Joe Burrow situation? You know, that's something we have to, you know, factor in, you know, because if this is a lower leg issue, calf or lower area Achilles, you got to err on the side of caution. You know, so holistically, I would say this, you know, and it's going to sound like I'm going a particular way, but you know, but if I'm a Steelers right now, I would just say we're rolling with Justin and let the dust settle. You know, and if he's dazzling in camp, if he's winning players over, I'm sorry, Russell. You know, because I did want to see him have a revenge tour. I did. You know, but Justin is younger, more athletic, bigger arm than Russell. You know, why not just throw the line in the sand and say we're rolling with a young dude and see if we can be the younger version of our franchise guy? You know, and I've been defending of Russell. Yeah, everybody should know this. They listen to us on a regular basis. You know, and for me, you know, a lot of people have written him off. You know, which I hate. You know, but for the business side of things, you know, if you have to pick between the two, I'm just going to roll with the younger guy and let them just fall where they may. You know, he's on his 4th year. You know, I want to see if he can play now. So if I need to exercise that 5th year option and then start working on what it's going to look like framework wise for a new deal for him if he's going to be the franchise guy. And if you look at it from this perspective, if you think about it like this, you know, because he's had such turbulence in Chicago and he's just getting to Pittsburgh, you might be able to sneak off and have a situation where he might not have to command top dollar like most of the guys his age are commanding right now. So you might be able to get him for a little bit cheaper as your franchise guy than you would have to pay top of the market. So, because let's be real, Russell is Russell, and he's got some skin in the game, so he's going to command a certain dollar amount if you resign him. So you mean to tell me I get a younger, cheaper, more athletic, and competent option in Justin than Russell? Business wise, it's a no brainer. You know, and if does this work out in the situation where Russell comes back before the preseason is over and you get some film on him, maybe be able to trade him to a team that's maybe quarterback dependent. You know, because I'll be real, I'm looking at it from an NFC perspective. If I'm Minnesota, I might be going to phone saying, "Hey, maybe I need to get him to mentor JJ instead of Sam because I don't want to see a Minnesota team this whole year with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. I don't. They have too many weapons. They're too stacked, and they have too good of a play caller to be having Sam Darnold throw the football for you for 16, 17 games. I don't want to see it. So I would much rather see Russell there if I'm going to move on from Russell. I want to see him in Minnesota versus Sam Darnold starting. If JJ is not your guy day one. So,
right.
But again, I'm just projecting. But regardless, again, I kind of feel like, with the way things lined up, and I feel sorry for Russell because it just happens to him. But if all things are pointing to the locker room loves him, he looks good in practice, he does well in the preseason, he runs offense well, everything is flowing, we don't have no hiccups. I kind of got to roll with a younger option in this situation. I mean, it's unfortunate, but maybe you get that 6th round pick back that you spent on Justin from Minnesota, and you ship him off there, and then everybody's happy. So that's just me. I don't know, but I think that I do believe that it's an interesting situation. I think this game 1 and the preseason is going to tell whether or not he's really going to be able to pick up everything he's been putting down in practice. So we'll see how things take, but I'm very interested. I'm going to be glued to see how he does week 1 in preseason for sure.
Gotcha.
All right, you got anything else you want to add to us before we move on?
No, yeah, like you said, the injuries and then his impact of play is going to tell us, if Russell's going to get a chance to get back on the field, or if he's going to start looking to transition into the other side. So we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I did want to see his revenge tour, so that's unfortunate. And they do play different this year, so I kind of wanted to see him play against his old team, but. It just may not work out that way, unfortunately. So we'll see. But yeah, man. Hopefully, Russell and Justin, get it worked out. They both can, play somewhere and further their careers. So, and they don't have somebody doesn't have to sit behind the other. Because that was always my issue with them both being there. Is only one person can play. That was the only thing. So
it's only one football to go around.
It's only one quarterback at a time. It's not like a super flex fantasy league. We can have 2.
2 quarterbacks on the starting roster.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.